Let's do another one.
Do you like to attack your opponent's king? Who doesn't like launching an attack that leads to a quick checkmate or the opponent's position crumbles under the pressure? These positions don't come out of thin air. You first have to make weaknesses against your opponent to gain the advantage, such as creating weak squares around your opponent's king, removing key defenders, or attacking on squares where your opponent has no defense. Let's take a look at some examples of creating weaknesses. In this position, white's center, especially the d4 pawn, is being put under tremendous pressure. Black is threatening bishop takes f3 when the d4 pawn would fall on the next move. White has the powerful resource d5. White advances the d-pawn to safety, grabbing space and attacking black's knight on c6. This move looks like a blunder because it opens up the long dark square diagonal, allowing black to win the exchange by capturing the rook on a1. Black's best choice is to avoid capturing the rook, allowing white a comfortable game with a strong central space advantage and well-placed pieces. If black accepts the rook with bishop takes a1, after queen takes a1, white is temporarily down material, but black gave up the strongest defender of the king, the dark squared bishop.
This diagonals.
Look at how weak the dark squares are around black's king. Black's knight does not have a good square to move to, so after knight a5, bishop h6, white is threatening checkmate on g7. So black is forced to return the material and create more weaknesses around the king with f6. After bishop takes f8, white regains the sacrificed material and has forced weaknesses in front of black's king. Not a good sign as the game continues.
Oh, interesting.
In this sharp position from the Sicilian defense, black's queen is putting pressure on the h2 square. This doesn't look too serious as white's king and knight on f3 both guard the h2 square.
So we just distract the...
Black focuses on the target and plays knight g4. Black's knight joins the queen in adding pressure to the h2 square. White's knight on f3 is now under great pressure as it must stay on that square to keep the king safe. A serious blunder is h3. Thinking that black must now retreat the g4 knight, but white is in for a surprise after knight d4. White's knight on f3 is attacked, but if it captures black's knight on d4, black delivers checkmate with queen h2. Since white's queen is also under attack, white can't both save the queen and prevent the winning tactic knight takes f3 check. White's best choice is to lose material after h takes g4, knight takes e2 check, and bishop takes e2, losing the queen for 2 pieces and weakening the king side. Instead of playing h3, white can play knight b5, attacking black's queen and helping protect the d4 square. After queen b8, white can now play h3, since the b5 knight prevents any knight d4 tricks. It looks like black needs to move the attack knight on g4, but now black can play h5. This is known as the fishing pole trap. Black uses the knight as bait. White should stay calm and not accept the knight. One idea is to play queen d2 to help bring white's knight on b5 into the center with knight b to d4. But if white accepts the knight with h takes g4, white is in huge trouble after h takes g4. The h file is now opened, so black's rook on h8 and queen on b8 work together to attack the h2 square. Once again, white's knight on f3 cannot move to a safe square because black would then deliver checkmate. White's king is in serious danger due to all of the weaknesses on the king side. Let's take a look at one more example together. One of the most dangerous attacks can happen when there are opposite colored bishops on the board. In this position, black's light squared bishop is pointing directly at white's king side. Notice that white has the opposite colored bishop, a dark squared bishop on b2. This means that this bishop is helpless in defending against black's attack on the light squares. after rook c1. White thinks black has to move the queen, but black ignores this attack and begins an attack against white's weak light squares with rook g8. If white tries to capture black's queen with rook takes c5, the game ends quickly after rook g2 check, forcing king h1. Black has opened up the long light square diagonal h1 to a8. Now black's attack is unstoppable after rook g1 check. This double check rook sacrifice forces white's king to move to the open g-file with king takes g1.
Oh, this one can do.
Black's light squared bishop prevents white's king from escaping, and after rook g8 check, checkmate will soon follow.
Wait, what? Checkmate will soon follow? Oh, because this one more move here, right? But doesn't really matter. Or this one. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Checkmate will soon follow. Instead of capturing black's queen, white can try to defend with g3. Notice this opens up the long light square diagonal again, and black has an overwhelming attack, starting with the powerful rook sacrifice, rook takes g3 check. Since the f2 pawn is pinned, white is forced to play h takes g3.
Okay.
Black has now opened up the h-file to add to white's weaknesses around the king. Can you see how black can attack on the light squares and threaten checkmate?
Go there?
If you found queen h5, great job. Black threatens checkmate on h1, forcing white to try and block the light squares with f3. White blocks one path, but by moving the f-pawn off the second rank, black's rook can now join the attack with rook d2. Black threatens checkmate once again, so white is forced to play rook f2. The overworked rook tries to protect the second rank, but now the light squared attack continues after bishop takes f3.
Oh, geez.
Black threatens checkmate on h1, and white's position collapses after rook takes d2. Queen h1 check, king f2. White is helpless against black's attack and is checkmated after queen g2 check, forcing king e1. And now black delivers checkmate with queen g1. Now it's your turn to create weaknesses and set up a successful attack.
That is hard. White's development is tremendous. Can you threaten checkmate and force black to weaken the dark square around king? Where should we start? So I want to control this diagonal, right? I can try to do this to prepare that. Oh wait. Oh, but it's still doable. So is this the first move? Okay. Can you find the second powerful knight move that prepares to attack these weaknesses? Not quite sure. Prepares to attack his weaknesses. I can only see moving here. But then a pawn would just take. Wait, is that a good thing? None of the pawns are pinned to the king right now, right? Why is here a knight move? Why can't I just go here? Go there and just go down. Is that bad? I'm not quite sure. Why not just move the queen? He found the second powerful knight move that prepares to attack these weaknesses. Just go back. Seems like this is the move, but lost my stuff. Why not the queen move? On the knight move that attacks the dark square bishop and is ready to jump into the weak f6. Oh, wait, go back? Wait, what? We blocked this one though. Oh, jump here on the attack. I see. Knight f6 check and the bishop g5. Wait, what? Bishop g5. Ah, okay. Why not the king just move there? Is that bad? They do this? Oh wait. Oh, it has to be this path though. Can we analyze this? I don't know. Black has a space advantage and is ready to attack White's king side. How can Black force weaknesses around White's king? Does it once again this? I guess we just do this one first and try to prepare for that. Or we can just do this. Either one's fine though. But I think this one challenged the oh wait. This one that happens. Okay. This one moved the bishop? Okay. Now it's time to bring your light square bishop into the attack. How we do this? Go here. So we can take the rook. Wait. Okay. Can you find another bishop move that threatens White's queen? Oh yeah, that's true. Maybe that's better. Ready to lock down the light square in front of the White's king. Find Black's strong bishop move. This one, right? But how would deliver check from there? Okay. Prevent this one moving and the king cannot move. So White's chances for an attack? White's chances of an attack are on the king side. Inside right here. How can White try to open up the H file and create weaknesses around Black's king? Starting from this. That doesn't quite open it, right? Does it? Okay. Pass pawn here. Preparing to play g6. How can you force weaknesses around the black's king? Force weaknesses, huh? How about we just do this? That seems pretty bad. Or is it? After this, my queen's open. But I have to take that. This is gonna happen though. Not very good though. If I move my knight here, that's not gonna be really good. But most of my stuff are blocked. Just keep going? I don't know. I don't want this one. I don't want those to move though. Ooh, here. Is it really going to be this bishop? Well, I'm gonna lose my queen if I don't deliver check, but those pieces are not working well. One good pawn move deserves another. How can you prevent white from playing g6? This move? When that happens though. Yeah? How can white advance a piece on the king side and attack the weak e6 pawn? e6? Gotta be this, right? So this is kinda... yeah, this is kinda locked. Okay. Oh, hello? It's kinda weird. Yeah. This outpost, okay. Interesting. Let's play the powerful pawn move again, forces the weakness. Alright, this time it takes, right? How should I continue? What we do on the open the edge file? We just move the king? How we move the king? How should I continue? You're using the knight here there? I don't know. Okay. Or how we come to this conclusion? Black has focused on gaining an advantage on the queen side. Meanwhile, white has built up the king side attack on the edge file. Okay. Can you find the incredible sacrifice that prepares a winning attack on the edge file? It's gotta be decisive, not moves like this, I feel like. It helps the king escape from there. Nothing can jump here, right? How about we move the bishop and just sacrifice our 2 rooks and move the queen here? Is that a little bit dumb? I don't know if that's the one, but we need to move the bishop. Yeah. Yeah. Black will not be able to stop White's attack on the h-file. Can you find the Grandmaster's move that finds a more direct way to sacrifice the bishop? Yeah? Well, that opens this. Oh, but this one's here. Okay. Alright. So now we just go down, right? Oh, so this is the one. Okay, now this happens. We kind of find a way to break through the defenses. How about this? That's not very good. Wow, unbelievable. So that is the way. Breakthrough. How about this? A fork? Oh, that's right. It doesn't have to touch the pawn. Oh wait, this pawn is pinged. This one's pinged. Okay, wow. Okay then. It's gonna be like forceful attack there. That's insane. Well, I got the first part right, but if I keep on doing that, it's gotta be it's just gotta be some trouble. There's too much material but cannot deliver checkmate. That's gotta be harsh. Alright, that will be for the lesson. Now let's go do some puzzles.